Imagine pulling up your old carpet, laying down fresh padding, and stretching that new carpet wall to wall. And it actually looks great for about 3 months, and then all buckles and the seams start separating. That's the reality of DIY carpet installation, more often than people think. And now you have to call a pro like me to rip it all out, start over, and that can really get pricey. It pains me, but I had to redo a failed carpet job recently, and it cost the homeowner $7,000 on top of the time and the money they were trying to do it themselves. And here's the thing, it's not just DIYers making these mistakes. I see so-called professional carpet installers skipping major steps every single day, and their work ends up looking just as bad. So in this video, you're going to learn 3 things. First, what actually goes wrong when carpet gets installed the wrong way, whether it's a homeowner doing it themselves or a so-called pro cutting corners. And I'm talking specific failures here, not vague warnings. Second, the real cost breakdown of doing it yourself versus hiring a professional, so you can see what you're actually saving, if anything. And third, what separates a quality carpet installation from a bad one, and exactly what to look for so you can spot the differences before it's too late. Let me tell you what I see out in the field every day. I've watched crews skip the power stretcher, rush through their seams, and completely ignore padding direction. And these are people who call themselves professionals. The power stretcher is the #1 tool that gets skipped, and trust me, this happens even with so-called professional installers. Without it, the carpet is ruined in 6 to 12 months. Bubbles pop up everywhere, and even the installers who do most things right will still miss a few important steps, which cause problems 3 to 5 years down the line. And here's the truth, if the manufacturer guidelines aren't followed, that carpet is guaranteed to have buckles and seam issues at some point. So if these trained pros are cutting these corners, just imagine what happens when a homeowner with zero experience tries to pull this off from a YouTube tutorial. Here's something most people don't realize. Carpet is the hardest flooring there is to install. It's not even close. Carpet has a nap direction, which is the way all the fibers lean. Your seams have to be row cut along specific fibers. You've got pattern matching to worry about, and if your carpet has any kind of designs in it, that pattern has to line up perfectly across every single seam or your eye catches it the second you walk in. And the stretching has to be exact. Stretch it too loose and the whole thing ripples and waves underfoot. Pull it too tight and you'll rip the seams apart or tear the carpet right off the tack strip. There's a real sweet spot there, and it takes years to learn. And stairs are a whole different beast. This isn't like clicking LVP together where everything just snaps into place. Carpet is much harder than hardwood. It's harder than LVP, and honestly, unless you've got 2 to 4 years of real experience under your belt, you're not going to make that carpet look nice. Trust me on this one. So let's talk about what actually goes wrong. When there's no power stretcher, you get carpet buckles. When the seams are cut wrong, you can see across the whole room. And when the nap direction doesn't match, you get shading differences where one section looks lighter or darker than the rest. Bad cuts and tucking leaves gaps along the walls, and the transitions between rooms. Those can fail too. A transition is that strip where your carpet meets a tile, hardwood, or the other carpet in the next room. If it's not anchored and tucked in right, the edge starts to fray, it lifts up off the floor, and now you've got a trip hazard you can catch your toe on every single time you walk through. With DIY jobs, the carpet usually looks bad right away because seams are nearly impossible to get right without experience. The buckles don't show up until 6 to 12 months later. Remember that $7,000 redo I mentioned at the start of the video? That was a job where the seams were failing and the customer had buckles all over the entire home. We had to rip everything out and start over from scratch. Real quick, if you're around the Raleigh, North Carolina area and you've been thinking about new floors, I'll make it easy for you. I'll bring the mobile showroom right to your door, help you find the floor that actually fits your home, and give you an honest, no pressure quote. Click the link in the description to schedule your in-home consultation now. Now, let's say you still want to try this yourself. Let me walk you through the tools you'd actually need. First, you need a power stretcher, not a knee kicker. A knee kicker is only meant to be a supplemental tool, not your main one. You'll need a seam iron and seaming tape. which is required for any room 12 feet wide. You need a utility knife with carpet blades, a carpet tucker and stair tool, and a row cutter. And don't forget the tack strip and replacement nails. Renting these tools runs you anywhere from $150 to $300 for a single weekend. And that's before you've bought 1 single square foot of carpet. And here's the part nobody thinks about. The subfloor work. When you pull up the old carpet, you'll often find old tack strips that splinter the plywood when you try to remove them. You might have squeaky areas that need to be re-screwed down. The padding has to have a direction too. Some pads have a specific top side, and if you flip it, you've got a problem. And then there's moisture. Moisture issues love to hide under old carpet where you never see them. And here's why that matters. If you lay brand new carpet and fresh padding right on top of a moisture problem, you trap it down there, now you've got mold and mildew growth underneath and a musty smell you can't get rid of no matter how much you clean. And it slowly ruins your brand new carpet you just paid a good amount of money for. These are visible problems that a homeowner won't even think to check. But a good installer catches all of that and fixes it before anything goes back down. Okay, so let's get into the real cost comparison, because this is where the whole DIY carpet installation starts to fall apart. A professional install runs about $3 to $7 a square foot fully installed. Doing it yourself, the material alone is about $1.50 to $4 a square foot. But then you add your tool rental on top of that and you add your time. On a 500 square foot project, your actually savings are only about $400 to $800. And that's only if nothing goes wrong. Now add in the disposal fees for hauling away your old carpet, add in the extra carpet you'll need if you make cutting mistakes. And here's the thing, manufacturers often won't dye lot match a small reorder, so your patch won't even line up in color. Then there's the time difference. A pro crew knocks out a room in about 2 hours. A DIYer, you're looking at a full day to a full weekend or longer. So you're saving maybe a few $100 while risking a redo that could cost you thousands. And here's a problem nobody talks about, the warranty. Shaw, Mohawk, and most major carpet manufacturers require professional installation to honor your stain, wear, and texture warranties. So if you install it yourself, you avoid that warranty completely. Think about that. You're spending thousands of dollars on a quality carpet and you're walking away with zero protection. If something goes wrong, you're on your own. Now, I want to be honest with you here, because I'm not going to pretend doing it yourself never makes sense. There are a few situations where it might be okay. A small closet or a single room with no seams, maybe a cheap rental property where the carpet doesn't really matter if it looks good, or if you already own the tools and you've got prior experience. But I'm gonna be straight with you. When it comes to carpet, 100% of the time, my recommendation is to hire a pro. It's just not worth the risk. So let's bring all this together. What actually separates a good installer from a bad one? It comes down to a few things. They use a power stretcher on every single job. They do proper seam work. They use the correct padding and they install it the right way. And they follow the manufacturer guidelines every single time. So here's your checklist. If you're hiring someone, ask them flat out if they power stretch every install. Ask about their seam work, ask about the padding. Because like I told you, even the so-called pros skip this stuff. And you've got every right to demand it gets done right. Now you know what it actually takes to install carpet the right way and why this isn't a project you want to cut corners on. But I know what your next question is. How much does all of this really cost? Well, I break down a real carpet installation quote line by line in this video right here. So you'll know exactly what you should be paying for and what to watch out for. Go check it out.